They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poet's part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Apocalypse. A little impromptu red light rap session, but all it is just continuation of my last one. Talking about power, you know what I'm talking about? I waited 2 weeks to do this because I wanted to have time. I wanted to see the first episode when they came back, let that resonate with people, and then check out the second one. So technically, this is going to be a spoiler type, broadcast, but at the same time, you've had ample amount of time to watch last week's as opposed to this previous week's. So I don't know what to tell you. If you haven't watched it, this might not be the podcast for you to be paying attention to right now. By all means, come back and watch it after you've watched it. But as of right now, yeah, I'm dropping some spoilers. So you got time. Take your time. Time taken. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So last week, the first episode back off the hiatus was titled "Still Dre," still DRE. For my older crowd. I like how they did this. I really did, cause I'm one. I don't watch it the day it comes out. I let it record and then come back the following day. I don't know why I do it. I just do it that way. That's my process. Like it, love it, I don't care. But so one, a lot of people would tell me, "Have you seen it? Have you seen it?" I was getting good vibes prior to me actually watching it. They didn't spoil it for me, thank God. But I was getting good vibes that it was a very, very, very good episode. So after I did watch it, I totally agree. I like the way they did this. All right, so let's jump into it, because this ain't going to be a review as more of, like I said, a continuation of my last podcast where I dropped hints of how I think they are doing things. So the question is, as you saw in the intro, who shot Ghost? That's been the question since last December, and we still on that path. So first out the gate, you still don't know. And this episode does not tell you nothing. What it's generally based around is Dre. I like how they're doing this. They're going from each perception of the suspects in the matter. So this one was centered around Dre. So, it started off, they brought his girlfriend back. Foreshadowing, maybe? A little bit of foreshadowing, because last time you saw them two together, it wasn't all that decent, you know what I'm saying? Some hands was thrown, a lot of cursing, stuff like that. But to bring her back in like a family type atmosphere where, they're all hugged up, he's got his daughter. Oh, side note, the dynamic with his daughter, a lot of us males, with children, of course, we gravitated toward that. So no matter what I say about it and everything like that, when it came to his daughter, and a lot of people feel me on this, I can appreciate that. A lot of his things he would say, he probably used this out of context, that he would say that was done for his daughter. I feel that because, I have children myself, so I can understand that part. But all the other, dumb stuff he did, I wasn't with it. But like I said, they brought his girlfriend back, so it's kind of foreshadowing that this might be the last time you see somebody in this aspect. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right. Not no particular. Well, it's kind of going in order, but it's not. One of the scenes that stuck out to me is they're doing a lead up to, the scene where Ghost got killed. So they're showing the day, maybe a couple days prior to it. What Andre is bouncing around and doing. So one of the first scenes was he met up with his crew, and he introduced his homeboy that just got out of jail. Their thing was the crew was all like, we need to get back in these streets. We need to get to work. We ain't got no work. So they was like, okay. Well, he's like, we ain't got nothing. He was like, well, talk to the Serbians. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back on like we was. And he was like, you know what? Fuck the Serbians. Of course, you remember what happened with the, Ghost tried to set him up. Man, it's like funny, like right on cue. As soon as he said fuck the Serbians, guess who walked through the door? Oh, and then they told him flat out, it's like, look, y'all ain't got to die today. You know what I'm saying? We just want that light skinned dude over there. somebody popped off, gunfight ensues. All right, a little bit of action. I'm not gonna shy away from the action. I appreciate a good gunfight. If you didn't know what type of person Dre was leading up to this next part will probably solidify the kind of individual that this dude was. So they're having their gunfight, a lot of melee, a lot of bullets being thrown, and his boy gets hit. So he does the real Negro thing, and he said he's grabbed his boy, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man, I'm gonna get you to safety. I was like, all right, that's what you're supposed to do. Fast forward a couple steps later, Dre sees that somebody got the drop on him, about to start spraying. Now, what he decides to do is to use his homeboy, who no less than 2 minutes earlier, he was dapping up and giving the brotherly hug, as a human shield. Now, look, I'm an Army vet / Call of Duty player. All I would have did in a situation like that was get in the crouching position or jump behind that big ass box that was sitting right next to him. Go back and look. But nah, he wants to use his homeboy as a human shield. So that should let you know right there, the kind of individual is him first, forget everybody else. All right, so he gets out of that little conversation with his girl, talking about we need to leave. So he starts devising plans of, okay, we need money to get out of here. I'm going to go shake the trees. So get back to that in a second. So the next following scene. Now, for those who paid attention to my last one, I gave you my scenario about what happened. I told you I'm an advocate that Ghost ain't dead. I told you my biggest thing was that Ghost shot himself, but he took steps to shoot himself. So when he's shaking the trees to try to get money, he went to Tasha to try to get her, use her motherly heartstrings to say, I know this about your son. If you don't give me the money, I'm going to set your son up, which he's already started to do anyway, but that's unbeknownst to her. And then Tariq comes through. He said he wants to get a piece because, he wants protection and everything like that. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to use that to get the Ghost. Excuse me, because Ghost won't shoot me with Tariq in the vicinity. I was like, all right. Remember I told you how smart Ghost is. You should already know, but if you don't, Ghost is a calculating dude. When he had his little square off with Dre, he first of all, Dre act like he was king shit when he was talking to Ghost just because Tariq was outside. That's a bitch move. But anyway, he gave him an hour. He gave him an hour ultimatum. He's like, give me the money. You'll have it in an hour. I'll text you the address and everything like that. So within an hour, this man Ghost set him up so lovely. I say that to say, remember before when I talked about Tommy's old boys that got pinched, Spank and 2-Bits. Remember I was talking about the cell phone that he got in there to talk to him. We never heard the conversation. We just know that them two talked. Come to find out, what he did was he set up Dre to go to jail, got them into the cushier prison or federal prison or whatever like that. Knew Dre was going to go and had them to, he said it, I'm going to set up your family for the rest of life as long as you take care of this dude. And they was like, bet. The boy is smart. Like within an hour. Within 1 hour, he got all these plans, had them transferred, had the cell phone sent inside, and had him set up. Because the moment he sat down and saw them two, it was on. So he could do the only thing he can do, try to cause a ruckus and get out of there. So the boy had not, okay. He got in there, season 2? About 9, yeah, so he's about on live number 7 right now. So old Francis and Spotwood. Okay. So while they in there, after all that's transpired and they got pinched, 2-Bits tried to reach out to Tommy. First of all, he wanted to clear the air, but he knew Tommy wasn't the one that snitched on him. He knew Dre was the one that got him in there. Tommy found out about BG, that Dre took out BG because he was looking for him. So he was under the impression that BG set him up. And then he was just saying that, nah, it's Dre. We're trying to get it, Dre, this, that, and the third. You need to handle that. Back up. When 2-Bits and Spank was first being in process, they was trying to flip him. Start Rodriguez. We'll get to her in a second. But they were trying to flip him. 2-Bits was a real one. Spank, not so much. He's a little dude. He knew it wasn't feasible for him to stay in prison. So he's gonna cut a deal. And how he cut a deal, he dropped Tommy's name in connection with the death with this dude named Poncho. I think it was like season 3 or something like that. I can't remember. But and then by the time they got the phone to him, Tommy already heard. This is gonna play a part later on when I break this down. And no, I ain't gonna say this is gonna be short because look, I gotta clear my mind on this. You're gonna love me for this. Trust me. So when Spank was talking to Tommy, he's like, "Nah, I got other business handled because somebody dropped dime on Poncho." So if you realize, and he said, like, I'm breaking ties. When he said that, Two Bits, who you would just think is just a regular normal thug, you know what I'm saying, hitman type dude, actually started thinking. He was like, "Wait a minute, ain't too many people knew about Poncho," and he started side looking Spank. It's gonna play a part here in a second. All right, so he's still trying to get out of town once he broke away from the feds, because the feds was letting him out. He did something crazy, which I still don't understand how that happened. He broke away from the feds, ran up into his mama's house trying to steal from his mom. There was a bad dynamic with that. She was always calling him heathen. Another thing to tug on your heartstrings when it comes to this, because you could say he came from a broken home. A lot of people come from broken homes. That's not gonna make me feel bad for this dude. If your mother's always calling you a demon, okay, you get out. Foster homes, this, that, and the third. That's neither here nor there. But so he took her jewelry, and then he ran back to Tate, because Tate was one of the people he talked to. So Tate now Tate was the one that got him the IDs for him, his girl, and his daughter, and license plates to get him out of town. So on top of that, Tate was like, okay, but I got a cool $250,000. I think that's the price. Cool $250,000 for y'all if you take out Ghost. So a little bit of squabbling, because he said he was only gonna give him half or whatever like that. But then he, tried to side on him, give him the light skin look and everything like that. Tate wasn't falling for it. He was like, you know what? Just take the money, because I'm the only person who knows who you are. So if you screw me, you're gonna have everybody and their mama after you. So he gets the money. He was about to dip. He was just about to, chalk it up and dip. But then he thought about it and he was like, you know what? Let me go take out Ghost. So he gets to the building. He hears a shot. So that automatically disqualifies Dre right there. So you could have stopped the episode right there and just said, okay, Dre didn't shoot Ghost. But no, of course, we're going to continue on with the story. He gets out. He's arguing with his girl in the car. He looks to the left. Tommy sees him, so he just knew his life was over when Tommy seen him. But they did the camera pan, and then next thing you know, Tommy's gone. So from the outside looking in, I still don't think I told you Tommy didn't do it. And then him seeing him further down the street only minutes later lets me further know that Tommy didn't do it. So that disqualified Tommy altogether for me. That's just my opinion. You roll with it how you roll. Here, and then I forgot the part where when he came out the door after hearing the gunshot. Like I told you, Rodriguez was walking up, so she's that expelled her as well. He laid her the hell out, just balled back with all his light skin glory and laid her out. This might play a part too. Like I said, hold on, I'm gonna get on Rodriguez in a minute. So minutes later, he pulls into a gas station. Now I understand the need to get gas, but most cars can ride about 25 miles once that light comes on. 25 to 30, depending on if you have a hybrid. I think he had a Dodge or something. So I know he had extra. Why would you stop in a city where A, everybody's looking for you, and B, just everybody's looking for you? Why would you stop in that same city? I don't know you trying to be hard and flex and everything like that. So, and this is going to play another part. As soon as he walks out the door, the cops show up. Now, even though he hit Rodriguez, so they probably put out an APB maybe on him or whatever. How did they know to show up there so fast? I think this is just one of my side ideas. I think Tate, yes, Congressman Tate, I think Tate set him up because remember he gave him the license plates and the ID card. He might have bugged one of them license plates and knew that if after Dre the mission happened, to catch Dre as he was fleeing the scene. Once again, that's just one of my ideas. I think outside the box. This is something with me when it comes to this power stuff or any show further from here on out that I go in depth with. I like to think outside of this box. All right, so that's one of my outside things. So fast forward, he's back in prison. So this is like what, the third time he's been in prison in this one episode alone. He's back in prison, and first thing he does, he talks to his family. I can see it in his eyes. He kind of knew things it was going to go south, because just to his overall emotion when talking to his girl, and then find out his girl done connected with his mother, and his mother said, "I'll take care of your daughter better than I took care of you." This, that, and the third. So he kind of knew it was close. Still didn't know what was about to happen, but he kind of knew what was going on. So he walks into the mess hall after he's all emotional, still red in the face. That's what happens with light-skinned people. And guess who he sees? Oh, 2 Bits and Spank. Even 2 Bits was like, "Oh shit, Christmas came early." So what does he do? He incites a little fight. He gets thrown in a hole. Didn't stop my man 2 Bits and Spank from doing the most cruelest shit that you can do, to the point we had this boy in the thing crying. He supposed to be this hard dude. He in the thing crying. "Don't do this, man." Threw the rag, the kerosene soaked rag or gasoline, whatever soaked rags in there, lighter fluid. Talking all this shit. He's like, "No, man, you ain't got to do this. Ghost did." You know what I'm saying? Ghost is the one who wanted to set me up. He's like, "Man, this ain't about Ghost. This is about what you did to us in the past." I ain't going to go into it, but y'all watch the episode, you know. Sprayed him down, lighter. Now he knows how the dark side feel. It's just something about when light-skinned people get it. Oh, Crispy Dre. So the next day, foreshadow. I'm sorry, that's just hilarious to me. Anyway, he gone. Adios. So the next day, while he's wrestling in his head, 2 Bits wakes up, goes to go talk to his man Spank. Spank gone. Spank done processed out. He gives a call to Tommy. He was like, "You know what? I knew it. I should have probably told you. Just the expression of fact, I probably should have told you earlier. But I think Spank is the one that snitched on you, because he's no longer here right now." All right. So the episode ends with Rodriguez talking to Spank. She walks out of the thing and starts talking to Paz, and then the show was over. Okay. That was it for Still Dre. Very good episode. Had you hanging in there. This is one of them episodes that had you hanging in there every scene just to see what's going on. Like me, I look in depth past the scene to see what's projected, for further episodes. So this next episode, entitled "He Always Wins," a lot of same way they did me with this episode. Prior to me watching it, people was reaching out just saying, "Have you seen it? Have you seen it?" A lot of people are like, "I didn't really like this episode." And I mean, that came, I'm talking about I like to stay away from social media, but it's, it's hard. But a lot of people was like, "I didn't really like this episode." And then they blamed the actress, Paz. I forgot her name, something Rodriguez. I liked her, she's been cool in the things I've seen her. But I liked the episode because you had to pay attention, because they closed some doors, but opened up way more. A lot of people wasn't paying attention because they said it just dragged along. But no, it was closing a lot of loops. Yes, it was all over the place. I got it. It was going from here and there and everywhere. But it was for a reason. Here's the reason. One of the running stories in there that a lot of people didn't pay attention to, but it just kept coming up so much that it's kind of made sense close to the end to me. Why? Especially at the end when I break down what I saw. Angela's pension. It was mentioned way too many times from way too many sources for it not to be something to circle. You know what I'm saying? From Warren, he's the chief district attorney. Rodriguez, Sachs, when she talked to Sachs, some other people, or her son was constantly talking about, we need, Angela's pension for him to go to school and everything like that. So it was a constant in the whole episode. Like I said, a lot of people probably breezed over that because it was just gibberish at this time because it was all over the place. All right. You found out the reason why she went to go talk to Ghost. Well, when she went to go talk to Ghost, she was bugged because she was trying to get Jamie. She was so hell-bent on getting Jamie that, she went to, quote-unquote, the enemy, Warren, who even told her, broke it down to her, is like, hey, if Angela is indicted with this, she'll lose everything. You won't get nothing. But she's so hell-bent on getting revenge for her sister under the false pretenses that Ghost was the one that killed her or had her killed, in her words. So once she hit that dead end, once again, Tom, I know Ghost, even though I didn't know that she was bugged, I'm getting the feeling that Ghost knew that she was bugged because he said all the right things because it pissed Warren off, who was listening in, as to opposed to not getting the words he wanted. He said he can get Angela, which was crushing to Paz. It's gonna play a part in a second. Keep paying attention. So after that, when she found out that that was a dead end, still more than likely gonna lose Angela's pension, she went to Tommy. Tommy, that boy gangsta. I love Tommy. Tommy, if other than Ghost, and I'm pretty sure I ain't the only one, Tommy is my favorite character. Only because he's just real. He's just real. He ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. He might do some dirty shit, but he's real. She come in there talking about, she trying to pay him. She's like, I need you to take out Ghost. He's like, I know y'all friends. He's like, nah, we ain't friends. He was like, well, I need you to get, and it was all about wordplay at this particular point because it came back to haunt her at the end. She was like, I need you to kill the man who killed my sister. And he was like, he just looked around, nah, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Telling me to commit suicide pretty much is what he's saying. So now she's all tripped out. Then her son sees that his mom is, she's real shaken up, and she left the gun on the table. So then her son, he wants to take matters into her own hand, but she caught him prior to. So now she's sitting in front of how do I not know the name? Well, his establishment, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna do it myself. So she goes in there getting pumped, you know what I'm saying, going to the bathroom. Guess who she runs into? Ramona. Now, I had mentioned before that for such a short period of time being in the program, she's played such a pivotal role. And she did not disappoint with this one because, once again, a lot of people would overshadow it as she was just trying to give Paz her condolences and just tell her how things was going to move forward. But it was very, very ominous, especially when Paz was trying to, do her due diligence in reference to her sister and say, you know what, this might not be the right way for you to go. You need to break ties with Jamie, Ghost. I'd never call him Jamie. You need to break ties with Ghost. And she was like, you know what? He's unstoppable. You want to stop this guy, but he's unstoppable. And they really focused in on it. I told you, I'm thinking outside the box. So that lets me further know that she's playing a bigger role than what she's letting on. The Democratic Party, it's funny how politics get into this too, especially with what we're going through. Democratic Party told Warren, remember the attorney, told him, pretty much leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Step back, leave Jamie St. Patrick alone. Of course, this is their biggest catch. This is like, finding Jimmy Hoffa or something like that. So of course he's not going to sit down. He talks to the main judge and everything like that, try to get a warrant. But boom, Jamie gets shot. Kind of convenient. He gets shot right around the time when they about to serve a warrant to him. I'm telling you, he's thinking. We'll get to that in a second. So now he's got to grab his ankles because Democratic Party walked in there and was like, you know what? You didn't want to listen to us? Bye-bye. Gone. He's out of there. Just like that. I didn't even see that coming. So Paz walks up again. Remember the story, this week's story is based around her. She walks up to she wants to talk to Warren. Notice that first time she went in there, she wanted to talk to Sax. Sax is fired. Next time she walks in there, she wanted to talk to Warren. Warren is fired. You seen the pattern develop? So now Sergeant Rodriguez pulls her to the side and like, yo, what's happening and everything like that. Make sure she lets her know that because of the what happened or transpired, that Angela would not be receiving her pension. Once again. So all Pax asks is that she wants to bury her sister. She's pretty much washed her hands. She's like, you know what? It didn't go the way I wanted to go. Let me just bury my sister and, and put her at peace. Now, here's what really stuck out about me. I know it was a very sad, it was very, not even say sad. It was because we already went through it. I know it was a very emotional moment in the story, in her story. But who was behind her? Which does not make sense to me. For those who didn't watch the show and are still rocking with me, I commend you. I appreciate you. But for those who did, you probably didn't think about this. Why was Sax behind her at the burial site? Maybe, of course, he probably didn't want to set it up or anything like that. Or no, she said she just wanted him there. But wasn't he supposed to be in jail the next day? I let it sink in for a second. Sax was walking up to kill Jamie in the mid-season finale, just like everybody else. But remember I told you he was one of my strongest candidates because he had nothing to lose, because the next day he was supposed to report to jail. But all of a sudden, he's at the burial site with Paz, which is obviously a couple days later. Full suit and everything like that. No cops around, holding him back or anything like that. So what transpired there? Think outside the box, people. So much. All right. So one of the last scenes in the show, which is pretty much going to get me into my tangent about what I still think happened to Ghost. All right. So they're at, I guess, his will reading or his estate. Is chopping up his estate. First person that goes out is, of course, is Tommy's mom, because she's like, yeah, mama, go tell my other son about this and this, that, and third, which is cool. Of course, he's going to take care of it. They was homeboys for the majority of their life. Pardon me. Then it's Paz's turn. So Paz is under the impression that Jamie left something to Angela, which would in turn get flipped to her. But, he dropped a bombshell on her. Shout out. That's Elvin from the Cosby Show. I just thought that was hilarious. But anyway, she found out that Jamie actually left the money to her. This is when my question mark above my head started popping up. Pretty sure like hers, but in my thinking about what happened. So he said after Angela passed away, he came in and he changed his will, to leave her something. He had no ties with Paz. Other than the fact that she was Angela's sister. But prior to that, remember, Paz hated him. She still hates him. And they was planning on, getting ahead of myself. Excuse me. So when she walks out, she, of course, here come Tasha. Of course, Tasha's entitled to something. That's her kid's father. So she sees Paz, and I think this is one of the best acting she's done, in just my opinion, in seasons. She asks her, oh, don't tell me that Jamie left Angela something in his will. I think that was acting, people. To caveat on that, because Paz was like, no, he left it to me. Once again, acting. She sits back. Why would he do that? Actually, she didn't even say why did she do that. Her next breath after, because then Paz said, I didn't take it. She was like, you should take the money. Now, I'm not deceased lawyer, not a deceased lawyer, but a lawyer that works with the deceased in their estate. But last I checked, or last I heard, that if somebody has a legit will towards, divvying out properties of the estate, properties of their estate to include money or anything like that, if an individual is not present or is not willing to take said property or estate / money, it reverts to the next of kin, or in this case, the spouse. So why why would Tasha kick money out of her own pocket and was adamant about it? It's not that she just said, oh, you should take the money. No? Okay, whatever. She said, take the money. No. Take the money. I don't want the money. Bring your ass here in this room real quick. Hey, I know Jamie screwed us over and everything like that, but you need to go ahead and take that money. And it really drew in on her. She's like, no, I don't want the murderer's money. It has something to do with my wife. So here's the other thing that tripped me out about this part. When she starts to walk away for the final time, it just looked like, you know what? I have to say this. Ghost didn't kill Angela. Tommy did. Now, for all the shit I give Tasha, all the shit, from her just being just a ragamuffin and, you know, doing her dirt and everything like that, I've never known Tasha to be a snitch. I ain't gonna say a snitch, just to tell on one of the family, no matter how bad it got. 'Cause remember, you know, her and Tommy got into it, especially about Keisha and everything like that. But I've never known her to actually say names, especially in a situation as delicate as this. So that lets me further, you know what? That breaks me into this. Okay, after that, she goes to Tommy because she's searching for him. Whether she was going to do something, I don't know. But Tommy's gone. His whole place is emptied out. And I'm pretty sure that's due to the poncho thing. All right. But this tangent I was about to go on in reference to why Tasha did this. Turn this off now. I still don't think Ghost is dead. Granted, it's been postulated, it's been said by the media he was slain. Because the first time you heard he was slain, I was always saying that slain can mean just, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean dead. It just means like, I couldn't find out I was wrong about that, but that's what I was saying at first. Then in this episode, they actually said he was shot and killed. So for the most population, they would probably go into, okay, that's it. And I was 87 to 88% with the general population until them final scenes. And then here's where it comes to me that I don't think 12 to 13%, no, more than that now, Ghost ain't dead. I told you Ghost is one of the most thinking people in the business. Why would he set up Angela's sister? Because here's what I dissected from that. Jamie doesn't want to be in New York no more. He doesn't want to be in the area no more. Remember, a couple seasons back, he wanted to run away with Angela. Let's just leave all this behind. My kids are taken care of. You know, my business affairs are taken care of. Truth. That was the place. I couldn't remember. My business taken care of. Let's just run away. Who's to say he ain't still doing that? Think about it. If he pulled off the ultimate, you know, magic trick of getting himself shot, because I told you I thought he shot himself. Then it doesn't hurt to have somebody like Ramona in your corner who deals with, you know, her thing is press, media, and all that stuff, to turn the story to say, hey, let's just say that he is passed. Because remember, we was in the same boat a season ago when a certain individual got shot, Angela, and we didn't know and everything like that. But it was silenced very, very quickly when we see her cold, dead body on the table. Correct? We have yet to see a body on the table. I'm just putting that out there. I'm just saying. And I don't think he's not working alone. I think Tasha's in on it. Of course, I think Ramona's in on it. I even think Tommy might be in on it. I say that to say this. The money that Tasha wants Paz to take is for her to take care of her family and to pretty much forget about Ghost ever existing. Because Tasha's straight no matter what. Her kids are straight. She doesn't have to worry about money no more. Remember, that was her big thing. She was wondering how she was going to provide for her kids, especially with her business going down. So if her and Ghost helped hash out this plan to get him out of the state, to get him off the radar and everything like that. She's taken care of by that, gratuity from his passing and everything like that. They're straight for the rest of their lives. Tommy, he's already upped and gone. I did say that I think Tommy is on it, but I think Tommy might be the scapegoat for this, because once I told you, Tasha's never said names before, so I think her thing is to get Paz to talk to whoever she talks to and get them on Tommy's trail. I mean, they're already on it, but just to disregard Ghost altogether, because even posthumously, everything like that. They could try to get the family and everything like that for if anything comes up. I'm not sponsored. That's why I heard them did that. So I'm just thinking that she's trying to push her away or push her on to Tommy to get her off of Ghost. Then the biggest bombshell I got, and I'm pretty much leave it alone at this until I see further. But here's one of the biggest revelations I got. Sergeant Rodriguez, I told you I was going to come back to her. I think she's working with Ghost. I'll say it again. I think I keep saying Sergeant, but I think Detective Rodriguez, who has been like a bloodhound on Jamie St. Patrick, is working with Ghost. You heard it here. You heard it from me. Apocalypse. Detective Rodriguez is working with Ghost. Why do you say that, sir? I don't know too many detectives. I don't know too many officers. Shit, I don't know too many secretaries that can have so many hits and misses and still be in a position of power. Shit, and I said hits and misses. I just mean misses, swing and misses. There you go. So many swing and misses, but still be in a position of power. And it seems like she's moving up as days go by. How many times has she so-called had Jamie St. Patrick? How many times she had it? You can count on both hands how many times she's had him, but he still gets away. That's crazy. How did this goes back to Dre. Who could Jamie have talked to get Dre back to where he needed to be and to find out what information he knows in reference to what St. Patrick has done? See, this is the stuff you don't think about. You know what? I'm done. Y'all taking me for fools right now. I watched this show, sir. I watched this show. You should too. Watch it with your third eye. Live, love, love life. Holla.